Proper painting technique for uneven walls. Painting walls can be a great way to freshen up a room, but when walls are uneven, the process can become more challenging. Uneven walls can make it difficult to achieve a smooth, uniform finish. However, with the right tools and techniques, you can achieve a professional-looking paint job even on uneven walls. In this article, we will discuss proper painting techniques for uneven walls. Prepare the surface. Before you begin painting, it is important to prepare the surface properly. This means cleaning the walls and filling any cracks or holes. If there are any major bumps or ridges, you may need to sand them down to create a smooth surface. For very uneven walls, you may want to consider applying a skim coat of drywall compound to create a level surface. Use the right tools. Using the right tools is crucial when painting uneven walls. A high-quality paint roller with a nap that matches the texture of your walls is essential. If your walls have a heavy texture, you may want to use a thicker nap roller to ensure that the paint is applied evenly. A quality paintbrush is also important for cutting in around edges and corners. Apply paint in thin coats. When painting uneven walls, it is important to apply paint in thin coats. This allows you to build up the color gradually and avoid drips and runs. Start with a primer coat and allow it to dry completely before applying your first coat of paint. Apply subsequent coats in thin layers until you achieve the desired coverage. Use a W pattern. To ensure that the paint is applied evenly, use a W pattern when rolling on the paint. Start at the top of the wall and roll down in a W pattern, then move back up and roll down again next to the first W. Continue in this pattern until the entire wall is covered. This technique helps to distribute the paint evenly and avoid uneven areas. Blend the edges. When cutting in around edges and corners, it is important to blend the edges of the paint with the rest of the wall. Use a dry paintbrush to lightly feather the edges of the paint to create a seamless transition. Don't overwork the paint. One common mistake when painting uneven walls is overworking the paint. It can be tempting to keep rolling over the same area in an attempt to even out the paint, but this can actually create more unevenness and result in a bumpy texture. Instead, roll on the paint in thin, even coats and allow each coat to dry completely before applying the next. Use a dry roller to feather edges. If you notice any uneven areas or lines between coats, you can use a dry roller to feather the edges. Roll the dry roller lightly over the edge of the paint to blend it with the surrounding area. This technique can help to create a more even finish. Consider using textured paint. If your walls are extremely uneven and you are having trouble achieving a smooth finish, you may want to consider using a textured paint. Textured paint can help to hide imperfections and create a more visually interesting surface. There are many different types of textured paint available, including sand, stone, and metallic finishes. Take your time. Painting uneven walls can be a time-consuming process, but it is important to take your time and work carefully. Rushing through the job can lead to mistakes and unevenness. Plan to spend several days on the project, allowing each coat of paint to dry completely before applying the next. In conclusion, painting uneven walls requires patience, attention to detail, and the right tools and techniques. By preparing the surface properly, using the right tools, and applying paint in thin, even coats, you can achieve a smooth, professional-looking finish. Remember to take your time, avoid overworking the paint, and consider using textured paint if necessary. With these tips in mind, you can transform your uneven walls into a beautiful, freshly painted space.